Welcome to Third Down and Touchdowns, the review of Miami's key plays. First third down of the game, 3rd and 9, find ourselves here on the last play. It was a inside run for a short gain. So we start this play in trips left tight. So we have 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side of the offense with Parker off the line of scrimmage. On the right, we have a tight end or Y lined up or attached next to the right tackle. The defense is playing press coverage against Parker, but we're going to motion Parker to line up inside Grant, so it now becomes a bunch formation. And here we can see how Parker's motion has changed the defense. Because it's cover 1, 20 can no longer play press, and so he is lined up on the 30, just really waiting to see where Parker breaks to. In terms of routes, Grant has what looks like an outside release, but he's going to outside release, so go route. He's going to break it on the 40. Parker has the deep cross breaking at 11. Bowden has the out route breaking at 5 to 7 yards. Laird's in pass pro, and Shaheen's also staying in pass pro. Here we are post snap and looking at our receivers and our blocking from the outside in. Grant has got clean release and is running what looks like a fade route. The corner is already trailing him. The safety I've marked as number 1 is not interested in him at all. Parker, as you can see, has also had a clean release by alignment and is running the crossing route, breaking at 11. He is drawing the attention of those 3 defenders, marked 1, 2 and 3. You can see in the screenshot, they're all looking at him. The 3rd receiver, Bowden, has run his outbreaking route. The linebacker is trailing him. If Tua wanted to go here, he's got a strong enough arm to go here. What Tua is doing very well here is holding the safeties in the middle of the field by staring down Parker when he knows really he's got Grant going to break in at the 40. Where this play unfortunately breaks down is that our tight end Shaheen has been beat. And we're going to look at a little bit more how that affects the throw in the box film. So here we are in the wide cultures film. Just a couple of things to look at. Really how Parker's motion frees him up, and then by Tua staring the safety down and holding him into the field, how that opens up Grant through at the end. Deserved a little bit better from Grant here, truth be told. So now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of it. This is what we call the box view, the cultures film, and it gives us a lot of information. Here I've marked the box in the solid red line. You can see the number of blockers. We have 6 blockers, from the tight end all the way to the tackle. In this instance, because we know it's a pass, you'd also consider Laird to be a blocker as well. We look in good shape here. Realistically, the Chiefs only have 6 defenders against 7 attackers. Here we see the Dolphins' original blocking scheme for this pass protection. I have 2 main concerns. The first one is that our tight end Shaheen isn't aligned. As you can see by the red box, there's a massive gap between him and the tackle hunt. My next concern is the defensive 1 tech in the gap between the centre and the guard, so in between Karras and Davis, number 77. Karras works away from him in the original play. I've got an adjustment which we'll see in a second, but the main thing is there's no linebackers in that box, so he could easily block the 1 tech, and I'll just show you what I think the scheme should look like now. In this slide, we just see my adjustment. We've got the centre and the guard blocking the 1 tech. It's my concern about the Dolphin scheme, from what I've seen, is a lack of blocking flexibility. There seems to be very little room for players to make adjustments depending on what the defense comes out in. In this scheme also, it's a tough ask for Laird, because he looks like a linebacker here, number 49. I've marked him as A. He could jack of all trades. He could be blitzing, he could be dropping back, he could be responsible for Laird in the run. But that's where Laird will be looking in terms of pass pro, because he'll know the scheme that the Dolphins are about to run. To make matters worse, the Chiefs picked this time to run a twist. A twist is what we call a defensive stunt, which is designed to open up gaps for defenders to run through. If we look at twist A first, The defensive tackle, number 98, attacks the outside shoulder of 68 tackle to open up a gap. The defensive end then, as you can see, comes over the top and into the gap. This is a really hard job for a tight end to block a premium defensive end. Include the gap that's already there. Shaheen has to go much further. This is really difficult block. On the backside, you've also, I've marked it as twist B, you've also got a twist between the linebacker. If you look, all his weight is going forward. If you compare him to A, the jack, whose weight is more balanced, he can go either which way. 56 is showing that his weight is going forward. He's going to attack. This should be setting all sorts of alarms off for the guard. As it is, the defensive end slants into our offensive tackle, holding him there, and gives up the opportunity to the linebacker, number 56, to loop round to the outside. Here we see what a mess this is. The first indicator is you've got Shaheen nowhere near a block, looking back into the backfield. You can see that Hunt's defender's on the ground, but Tua is still up. Between Hunt and Laird, they've kept the defender off Tua. The difficulty is here that the nose tackle, Karras and Davies, have made a hash of this and allowed him to take the depth away from the pocket so that Tua can't step up. But 55, this is, we've asked a tight end to block a defensive end. On the left, this is our offensive left, defensive right. The guard and the tackle have done a reasonably good job here. You've got Solomon Kindley, who've moved from right guard to left guard, who's played well, and Austin Jackson, who I've been pretty harsh on this season, but is definitely improving. This isn't a bad job. You can see also as a positive, Tua knows he's going to get hit, but it's hung in there to deliver the pass. So with box film, there's a lot to look at. The first thing we're going to look at is the defensive left. Ignore the jack linebacker. We're going to look at the defensive stunt. Remember, we've got Shaheen locked up on the defensive end. So we're just going to run it through. Shaheen tries to step up to take the defensive end. He cuts inside. And because the defensive tackle has done a good job of moving the tackle away, it's opened up a big gap. The next thing we're going to look at as we move across is how our center plays this. Not a fan of this at all. To me, I would call this loafing. He's taken a play off. He steps down, snaps the ball, steps down. Right here, he's behind another lineman. He's reaching. Look at these feet. These feet aren't balanced. Everybody else is balanced. They're in a pretty good football stance. This is not a good body position. As we take the play on, what is he doing? What is actually he doing? This is a good position of Laird. In the scheme, Laird will have to come across to support, but because he expects Shaheen to make his block, he's committing to helping the tackle. But even if he'd been half a second slower, he would have seen the defensive end looping into that gap. Here, we're in good position. We've handed the stunt off. 55 has crashed in. The outside linebacker's looping across as we go. This is pretty good. We're looking a pretty good position to win here. Laird has really helped the tackle out. He's aggressive in the pass pro. This is good. Again, centre Karras still not helping anyone. Davies is a little bit upright here. He's the defensive tackle. Nose tackle has got leverage on him, but everyone else is fighting. As we keep going, the pocket's starting to collapse. If Karras had got this block properly, this defender shouldn't be pushing Davies back. Here, my concern about Jackson being long-armed. Solomon Kindley winning every day of the week here. As we keep going, Tua hanging in there. I mean, this is guts. Really annoyed by this. Shaheen, what we're doing. Throws the ball. We know what happens next. Unfortunate. Could need to be better in those situations.